morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nano. It is Thursday afternoon, and it's starting to feel a little bit like summer.
Going to get hot later in this week. A happy Kentucky Derby week to everybody. We'll have a big day here on Saturday for a big Derby watch party. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, we've got a couple of stakes on Saturday, so the week is going to be very much fun. And we're going to start the day with a fast rain track firm turf course. Of course, we've got the all-weather Tapeta. The rail today is going to be at 45 feet throughout the afternoon. And Brian, I guess we'll get right into today's card. Well, what's with the Rainbow Six situation?
Rainbow, $75,000 in the estimated jackpot. They put a lot into it on Sunday, which was day number one. I think almost $75,000. Right. So we appreciate that. We're just in its infancy as they paid it out on Saturday. So, yeah, get active. Going to be a solid pool today, Ronnie. Carryovers, by the way, and we'll talk about it in the late round. Carryovers in the coast-to-coast and the Sunset Six.
Yeah, one's got like 60,000 in them. So
exactly.
Yeah, we'll let you know about that a little later on. So those bets are great, and it's special on a Thursday. Do we always have them on a Thursday?
Well, with Santa Anita running Derby week, I think on a Thursday as well, we get that one extra bonus kind of day.
There you go. So the first race today is going to be on the turf. It's a 1 mile event for claimers, 3-year-olds and upward. We're going to scratch the 1 Forza Azzurri and the number 6 Sponge Time. Not only does it start the early pick 5, it also starts the tropical turf pick 3. And Brian will have his ticket, then I'll show you my tropical turf ticket. Let's get going today.
All right, $36. I lost 2 top picks in this sequence. That is what it is. Race number 2, my long shot is the 1 Cam's Girl. We'll see about that now with Sammy Camacho getting a late mount there. I like that pickup, and I think they like to bet Sammy around here. Now, race number 3, Gallant Knight at a short number. Race 4, I scratch into the 3, Motown Soul, the firster for Ronnie Spatz. And in race number 5, 76 is the order for me on the outside. Storm West on the cutback.
Cut back in distance for owner-trainer Joe Orsino. Tropical turf pick 3. Just going too deep here in the opening leg with the 5 and the 8. Race number 6 this afternoon. I'm going 3 deep in there. My top pick is my little bit of a long shot in there, and that's Mythical Man, who's 4-1 on the morning line. And then in race number 8, just 2 for me. Race sort of goes through Come On Poppy, but I also use the 6 Artiste for Nick Tomlinson, who's having a nice start of his training campaign.
Career, yeah, for that matter. And one of the good guys around here, and as Ronnie kind of hinted at, very difficult to come up with proper capital L long shots. Right?
Well, I took a lot of grief all with championship me long, picking Jimmy Toner a lot on the ticket. He came through for me a few times. He looks like he's got a major player today, and want to show a replay of that. And the number 7 Guido.
Yeah, so here's Operation Torch and Guerrero in their last start on April the 4th. And one horse is going to beat the other horse by 3/4 of a length, but Operation Torch is doing all the heavy lifting here. He's getting chased by the winner. That's back in the saddle. Aguero is just kind of licking his chops in the dream spot here. And Operation Torch, he ran fine. I don't want to give him too much credit. He was 7-5 in this spot. But what I do want to give him credit for is still being able to outfinish Guerrero, who had a much easier trip as he was just laying back while Operation Torch was taking all the worst of it with a strong co-favorite pressing him the entire way. So the fact that he was still 3/4 of a length to the good in the at the wire, Ron, tells me he's just a better horse than Guerrero.
Yeah, and just love the work that Jimmy does all the time. And Sammy Camacho, our leading rider in the saddle. Peppermint Man is dropping and racing without blinkers after vying for Lee Weekning. That was against those 25 claimers going 8.5 on the turf for Ronnie Spatz. I think it's a good spot for this horse.
It should be, yeah, and I think it's also a good spot for Operation Torch because I would assume this horse will be in front today, where now, last time you saw Operation Torch on the inside getting pressed as a speed, I would think, at least we don't run races on paper, but if you look at it on paper, that's likely what Operation Torch is going to do to Peppermint Man
And
today.
as you mentioned, we're going to need that pace up front to run its best this afternoon. Race number 2 this afternoon is a 6 furlong sprint. These are maiden claimers, and they are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Jockey changes, Brian just mentioned. On the number 1, make that right at Sammy Camacho, and you went with the number 1 horse in here. A little bit of a long shot for you with Cam's Gal.
Yeah, we'll see now with Sammy getting aboard. They like to bet him, and as they should. Here's a horse. This is a total stab, admittedly. What this horse is, Ron, is a fresh new face in a race where frankly, could be begging for a fresh new face. She's on a trainer switch to Roderick Rodriguez. He's had a really good year of it. Antonio Sano did nothing wrong with this horse. I just don't know if she can run or not, but she does cut back. Now we get a name jock in Sammy Camacho as well. I think they're going to hit pretty hard up front here, too. I'll take a shot. Even with Sammy getting aboard, this horse better be some kind of a square price.
Well, a horse that could get brave on the front end, I think, is the 3 Harpy. Stretching out, chase the pace, really solid fractions, and finished third against Simla. But that was going 5.5 in the slop, so she can get brave if they leave her alone on the front end. She's 8-5 in the morning line. Am I sold on her? No, but I did put her on top today.
I think she's probably the most likely winner. Now, with that being said, the only time she's ever really shown any life was her last start, but as Ronnie alluded to, it was a sloppy main track. It is dry land out there today, but she is, to me, the one to beat.
Well, we could show you new lease on life in Army Medic, who we have some interest in on our tickets.
Yeah, so Army Medic is going to be a speed play in here. If she's not dueling with Harpy, she's going to be darn close to her. New lease on life a little further back, and you can see new lease on life is under serious pressure here entering the far turn just to keep up, and then you can kind of see it right about here. She actually finds herself a little bit, and I thought, to her credit, the fact that she was actually able to get by Army Medic, who's tiring pretty badly in the lane. I thought it was a decent little run by New Lease on Life. She did well to draw outside these gals today, or inside these gals today, but they're going to go, I think, and then she'll get the same type of trip, and maybe a little more focus this time helps her potentially turn the tables, or get there first, I should say.
Just a note that the Army Medic is trained by Heather Smullen, and so is that 8-5 morning line favorite, number 3, Harpy, in there. So with an 8-race card, we take a real short break with race number 3. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow 6 ticket.
Win big with new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
There comes a moment when the next adventure is yours to choose. Imagine your next ride, not to another destination, but to a world you step inside. My Racehorse makes real racehorse ownership possible, with top trainers and accomplished owners in the sport's biggest races. Access once limited to a few, now open to you. This isn't a single race. It's the start of a lifelong pursuit. Begin the journey with My Racehorse.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron and Brian. Third race this afternoon, a 6-furlong sprint. These are claimers, 4-year-olds and up. Did have 2 early scratches of the 2 My Great Illusion. Number 3, Bless America, who's certainly a major player in there. Kicks off the Rainbow 6 and looks awful tough here for the reclaim by Rowan Crichton. We'll talk about the third race. I'll show you my ticket real quick. $43.20. Fourth race, just 2 for me. Going to try and upset a little bit with Ball on top, trying to beat the logical choice in there, which is the number 3 horse in the Motown Soul. Race number 5, 3D for me. My top pick is the 1, Sophistry. Race number 6, go with the old one again. On top, Mythical Man, a little bit of a price. Race number 7, it's the old 1-2 for me with Caldera on top. I need the 1 to run well today. When you see it
Look
like
at that.
yeah. And in the 8th race, my top pick is the 2, Come On Poppy, but I also have the 1 on the ticket, so $43.20 for me.
A lot of inside runners for Ronnie, and maybe the only reason he didn't have the 1 in race 3 is because he is out.
Well, Gallant Night is a reclaim by Rohan Crichton. Now I want to show you a stat. It's sort of like you really, because it's a reclaim, but I'll show it anything with Rohan Crichton because the numbers are just so good. Here he is, first after the claim on the dirt, 36%, 63% the money, 215 is 53 is the return on investment. I know it's a reclaim, but I just wanted to show you what a good job he does first off the claim, even though he's getting it back in his barn.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's so important too here, because that's a huge stat, the other thing is Rohan's going really good again. and
Yeah.
he was not going good during the championship meet. He's caught fire of late. The majority of those wins have come within the last, we'll call it, 6 or 8 weeks, and this horse is a short number, especially because his main rival's got no speed whatsoever.
Number 6, Antillion. Did you have that one?
Yeah, I did. I left this alone in Tillian for Garrett Arscott, who's done such a good job with a limited amount of starters here. I think the cutback is going to help him because he's not going to be on the lead. I kind of feel like he fell on the lead a little bit last time. He'll sit just off of it today.
I don't know what we're going to get with the number 2, Sven. Of course, I had Bless America in second, so I bumped this one up. Sven is going into the Henry Collazo one, but if you look at this horse's record at Tampa, certainly was right there at the wire most of the time. I don't know how that translates to here, but he's got some speed, which I like. I like the fact they're going to put the apprentice on to try, and maybe this horse goes to the lead or tries to go to the lead today in this compact field.
Yeah, I think he won't be on the lead, but I think what's going to help him is that it's going to be a compact field. That's the important thing. He's lost his speed of late, but if you look at those fractions at Tampa, they've been flying around there. I think he'll be a lot closer today, and I think that's going to help him. He's 0 for 4 here. That worries me a little bit.
Race number 4 this afternoon. This is 6 furlong sprint on the fast lane track. It's a maiden claimer for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. Scratch the 6, Valley Val, and it kicks off our late pick 5, and Brian has a ticket. He's going to show you right now.
Take a look at it now. $18 late pick 5 to me. I'm with Ronnie with all these ones, although I don't have many on top, I don't think. In race number 5, I've got the 7 Storm West. Race 6, I've got the 4 Baker Street. Race 7, I obviously have the 1 Caladera on the comeback for Safi, and my racehorse short price. And then my best bet is in the finale, the 2 Come On Poppy to end this card on that firm turf course.
Yeah, certainly the one to beat in here this afternoon. I want to talk about the number 1 here for in a second. Ball on top is going back to the main track after returning from about an 8-month layoff to finish second against this level, going 5 on the Tapita. So I want to show you a stat with Kent Sweezy doing this today, and that's going Tapita to dirt. We'll see how he does. 13%, 37%, 141. Nothing to write home about. Not that bad, but boy, look how good the jockey Diego Herrera has been doing.
Yeah, absolutely on all of that. And Kent's been doing really good, too. This horse, I would think now, She Auto defaults as a pretty strong favorite with the outside horse not making it over, or not here, I should say, Val, ball on top, because that dirt race 2 starts back, that's going to beat this field.
You went the number 3 on top in here, and that's Motown Soul. Is the daughter of Motown, debuting for Ronnie Spatz. Consistent morning work time showing. He doesn't have a lot of first-time starters that win.
No, 0 for 15, I do scratch into this horse. But as Ronnie kind of alluded to, there's plenty of works on display. She took a little time off between February and March, but she's ramped it up with 4 solid works. I like the 5 furlong work on April 24th as well. Watch the tote board on her. If she can run a little bit, she's supposed to take money in this kind of spot.
The number 2, Weston Lilly, first time in Frank Regalabuto's barn. He's 3 for 3 in the money at the meet with a limited amount of starters. I don't know how you translate those 16,000 maidens. You would think stepping way up to try 30,000 types here this afternoon.
I agree. She did show speed in that spot. 16 at Tampa, 30 in late April at Gulfstream. It's a big rise in class, but she showed some speed. I liked that. The winner was pretty good that day, so I think there's reason to believe she can run a little bit in this spot.
Yeah, with the scratch of Valley Val, certainly opens up that race a bit. Race number 5 is 5 furlongs on the turf. It's a claimer, on Tapita, excuse me. It's a claimer for fillies 3-year-olds or fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3. No scratches, no jockey changes in here. Brian, you went to the outside with Storm West.
Yeah, the cutback here. I love the post for a horse like this. Showed speed, routing. Now we cut back from the perfect outside attack post. Has also shown speed sprinting as well. So I think they're going to have trouble with this. She is dropping pretty significantly in class, too. That's going to help, too. Although she was a total no-show last time. Look at the field. The shimmer, show off. I love Venezuela. Those are crack Tapita routers.
Number 1, Sophistry. It moves to the Jose D'Angelo barn after that claim makes her first start. You see, she went up, she set the pace, she finished third at this level and distance. That was back in December. The barn, is pretty solid with new claims, 23%. Has the daughter of Matoli working consistently for the return. And just taking a shot that this horse is going to run well, coming off the bench for a barn that does okay first off the claim.
Yeah, just, look at the drill on April 17th. Where you been?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I promise you, they did not claim this horse 12-5 on December 13th to wait till April 30th. With that being said, her last 4 works are solid, culminating with the April 17th drill, 35-3 around the dogs on the turf. That's zipping along. It says to me she still has some speed.
You want to show the replay of Honor Her and Let's Go Philly, who finished second and third in their last race.
Honor Her, a neck to the good of Let's Go Philly. Look what happens here, though. She's down on the inside with a ton of run and gets completely sawed off. You can see her not necessarily have to stop, but she couldn't go through there. And what happened was Edwin Gonzalez had to be forced to go to the outside because the hole wasn't there. You lose your momentum like that when you're an $8,000 claimer. You can't make that up. And the winner was 4-5 anyway. She would have been a heck of a lot closer right there on the line. To me, that's a good, strong effort. Danny Hurtak claims her for 8. Bumps her to 12-5. You got to watch the tote board. We talked about it last week. This is a significant rise in class today. They are betting these Hurtak horses with both hands. We saw a horse win last week that was an implausible, heavy favorite. I think at 7-5. We'll see. She's stepping up today, right?
He does a very good job first
Does.
off the claim in other situations. But Sarah's Rose goes to the owner-trainer Nick Tomlinson's barn after the claim, races with Blinkers first start. Since finish, got bounced around a little bit. Second versus 3 lifetime claimers back during February. The daughter of Omaha Beach is waking well for the return to action today. I think this one fits right in there.
I think so, too. The question is, much like the one, now where have you been? February 5th. The other question is, rising in class pretty significantly. We know that. But we're claiming off Victor Barboza Jr. Nick has shown shown to do a very good job. Easier said than done to move up off Victor.
Yeah, without a doubt. So race 6 this afternoon. This one is, let me flip the page here, is 1 mile on the turf. It's a claimer. These are 4-year-olds and upward in here, and no scratches or jockey changes. Oh, guess what? I went to the inside again with Mythical Man, who's dropping to the 35 level and returning to the turf. Followed the second place finish at this level on the grass. Comes back, he duels, he fades against 50 starter optional claimers going a mile 70 on the Tapeta. For Mr. Bo Chapman, who claimed him 2 starts bail. He's got Miguel Vasquez. I like this horse's chances this afternoon.
Yeah, the only problem I have is he has run really, really well on Tapeta in the past, and he stunk last time. He was dead last, beaten 16 lengths, back to the turf today. I like that. There's no crazy drop. They claimed him for 35. The flow of this race is going to suit him as well. I just hope his form isn't lost, Ron. That's all.
Well, that's why I thought I'd get a little bit of a price in there. You went with the number. We'll start with your top pick in here, which is the number 4 horse in here, and that is Baker Street for Antonio Sano.
I think Baker Street's going to sit a nice trip, a lot like your horse, actually, because I think they're going to have some pace in here to run into. Baker Street closed to be second, beat 1/2 length last time in a wildly fast race at this level. Can he repeat it? Well, it remains to be seen, but I think he's got a really, really good chance to make a big dent in here.
Let's show the performance of the 3 in here, and it's Jayhawk, who's stepping up the competition after notching its second consecutive victory when he won. That's 1 of 2 in the race for Bobby DeBona.
How good did this horse run? Look at the fractions here. 22 flat, 45-2. And Jayhawk is dueling the entire way with a horse that was not near the finish. He's retreating already. And here you're thinking, well, that's not going to work for Jayhawk. You got Walter Milad at 7-5, sitting the garden trip, stalking, and he's produced here off the far turn. And Jayhawk not only would not let him by, I don't think he would have let him by, Ron, if they ran around 3 more times. He kicks again. He's beaten. He wins just by a neck. But this is a huge effort. It was kind of a long neck to me. He wasn't going by at any point, Walter Milad. That is a huge, huge run. But Ronnie said something very, very important when he led into that replay. That was for 20.
Right.
This is not 20 today. This is a good season group of 35s.
The number 2, Relampago Verde, is the other one from Bobby DeBona, and I want to show you a stat because this horse is now going from Tapeta to turf this afternoon, and here's that stat. He's 18%, 45% in the money, and Lionel Reyes is going to jump aboard. I don't know where this, where does this horse sit today after that, stark win last time on Tapeta?
Yeah, I worry he's just better now on Tapeta. The turf race at this level on February 14th was just not very good. Maybe he's found himself again. It's confident that Bobby's going to put him back on Tapeta, or turf, excuse me. I hope you get the right price because it's Bobby, it's Michael Ivarone. They like to bet these horses. Me personally, and Ronnie's got him further down too, he's looking up at everyone but the 6 in this race.
What about the 5, Act a Fool for Laura Cesaris?
That's the turf race I'm looking at on December 13th. And that's going to beat this field. And he's got a great post to sit outside of Jayhawk. They've asked him to do things I don't really think he wants to do. 1.5 miles in a grade 3. Right. Obviously not.
Right.
5 furlongs on the turf, no. In Junction Road is so good on Tapeta for Rohan Crichton, so I don't hold that against him either. I like this post for him. I like getting back to a proper level on the turf, too.
2-1 morning line favorite
Paco.
in there. Might have missed that. Yeah,
Paco.
Paco's definitely going to. Well, race 7 is going to be a mile on a fast main track. It's an allowance optional claimer, 3-year-olds and upward. Scratch the 4, Lou the Body. I think he's in Sunday? Maybe Sunday. I think he's back in on Sunday. Jockey change on the 5. Make the rider Wesley Henry make that weight 126 pounds. No apprentice allowance. Caldera looks pretty tough in this spot, who stakes place during 2025. Returned from a year layoff for Safi.
Yeah, was with the Hall of Famer, the late Dwayne Lucas, for my racehorse. If they want to bet this horse today, he could be 1 or 2 to 5 because we know they love to send it in. He's the best horse anyway, and now he goes to Safi's barn. Now he has not been seen for 1 year in 11 days. That's a little dicey. All the works were solo. He looked like he was working very strongly to me, but they were solo work, so there's really not a lot to show. This was a horse that was cut out to be a very, very good horse. They paid $500,000 for Liam's Map. He was nosed out in the pricey Sunland Derby. He's, like I said, looks like he's working well, Ron. He's supposed to win this race today.
Nick Juarez will be in the saddle. Skellig Michael will show you this performance of this horse, winning performance from this horse who beat Miami Frank that day.
Yeah, we've got 2 replays to show you as well. We'll get to Swashbuckle in a second, I think.
Get that one down there.
Skellig Michael, I would like to ask Victor Barboza about this horse, if he bugs the heck out of him or not. How about this? He's even money, and now he looks like he's going to be 5th. I don't know, 3rd, 2nd. Sure, he's not going to win. He's a beast past him like he's standing still. And you see this about 3 times a year. He comes back. He's got to tip out. Ronnie, he comes back and wins going away.
Right.
You never, ever see this. I don't know if he's lazy. I don't know if he needs aggression in his rides. He did the same thing 2 starts back, and he couldn't come back. I don't know. He's a talented horse that I'm going to assume doesn't always have his mind on business. He has not been out since this race on January 9th.
Yeah, he beat Miami Frank, who is a off-track specialist who came back and actually won on and off-track.
Very good.
2 starts back, then ran a good second on the fast main track in his next start, so you can factor it in. I forgot to write down Swashbuckle, so pray tell me about this horse.
We got Swashbuckle here, 41-1. He made a huge run last time. Do we have it? I lost my earpiece, so if we don't, we don't. Okay. No. I did not send it. My apologies there. 41-1. He ran big last time behind To the Estate for DeBona, who's at Churchill either today, yesterday, or tomorrow. I don't even know what day of the week it is. But This horse ran big at 41-1. Don't sleep on this horse if you want to get a little funky and try something different, because we know who the two heavy favorites are going to be.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that is race 7. I moved up to number 6, Freaky Neeks. This one getting both Lasix and blinkers this afternoon for aforementioned Frank Reglabuto, and hasn't been seen since making a middle move, sort of, and finishing 6th. That was in the Hutchison behind Fulmin. I think this horse, Wutun, Di Cassette, those horses would crush this field.
This is a tough group to face older horses for. There's a couple he can play with. The 1 and the 2, I don't necessarily know. But he's lightly raced, and he gets Lasix. I think that's a big deal. Blinkers as well. Good post for him, too.
Yeah, we'll see how he runs this afternoon. That is the number 6, Freaky Neeks in there. Ludabani not going to play today. Our final race of the afternoon is going to be 7.5 on the turf. And these are maiden claimers, and these are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. Clean slate, no scratches. Jockey changes in here. Brian's best bet. Now, one to beat in here is certainly Come On Poppy, and let's show you why.
There's not a lot happening here, but look at your past performances and look where Come On Poppy had been in his races. And look where he is in this race, Ron. I think that's so significant. I can remember talking about this horse, and we were always, well, he's going to run out of room. He's going to run on late. She's going to run out of room. Well, to his credit, Jorge Ruiz put her in the race last time. She gets beaten over 4 lengths. It's nothing any great shakes. More Applause was good in this spot. But I think that's what's so significant here. I think at least they found some tactical speed with her. I would expect she's put in the race by Yolbert Torres. She even gets a weight break from some of these gals. And it is, to me, now or never, Ronnie, with her.
We'll see how great. I'm going to show you stat with Mr. Victor Barboza. Junior second after a 45 to 180 day layoff on the turf. He's 15%, 42%, 129, and that's okay with him. He's not known as a top. I mean, a guy that runs a lot of turf horses.
Exactly. I think that's a significant part about that. He's just 11% on turf, which is, not horrible, but Victor is so good with the other stuff that he does.
A horse that's going to try the grass today is Artiste. It's the daughter of Munnings out of the Blame Mare Assertive, debuting on turf. The sophomore will test it for class when it tries these 17.5s.
Yeah, she is the wild card. It's as simple as that. Nick Tomlinson's going to claim her for 12.5, bump her to 17.5, and try her on the turf. We'll see what we get. She's bred for it on the top with Munnings, not necessarily on the bottom, out of a Blame Mare. It's a good post. Nick teaming up with Bruno Schickendas. That's good to see as well. I would expect her to make a dent in this field. There's no great shakes in here, that's for sure.
The 1 Hot Cocoa is 2 for 5 on the money on the turf, which is saying a lot in this race. Stretches out on the grass after returning from a layup to finish second, going 5.5. That was that sealed sloppy track from Mary Leitner. Adds blinkers, and you've got, is it Joe Bravo in the saddle? You know the old adage, Joe Bravo running in the last race. He usually sticks around if he's got a winner.
Going to the front. I would assume this horse with the blinkers will be your pace setter. Might even get free in here, which makes her eligible to get very brave in here as well.
I wanted to just ask you quickly about Starlight Luna for Joe Cantonese. I think this horse, closes. I'm talking for the Trias Super.
Yeah.
Maybe could make that thing pay handsomely.
I could see her getting a piece in here. She's going to be a nice price. Joe's got some live turf horses all weekend long, actually. Remember this barn. They've been long shot odds in their previous races. They have legitimate chances this weekend. As Ronnie alluded to, she can run on late for a piece.
Yeah. Well, that does the 8 so far, but we're not done. We have our very exciting lightning round. I love the first day of the week because we get to see what's going on in the standings besides other great stuff. And let's get right to those standings, Brian.
We have a loaded lightning round today. The standings here, Sammy Camacho. Miguel Vasquez has chipped away a little bit at that lead. Micah Husbands. Diego Herrera, great to see him as a newcomer here, literally crossing the entire United States from California over here to South Florida. Great to see him make a dent early on, Ron.
Yeah, he's been riding good form.
I agree.
He's got. I like the way he times races especially on the turf. He gets up there right under the shadow of the wire. Leading trainers is our man on top yet. Oh yeah, he made it. Well, just barely. Carlos David having a great meet. Victor Barboza Jr. over the weekend could win maybe 12 races if you look at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday today.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are big players at the big weekend at Churchill Downs. We'll talk about it. Jose D'Angelo's got his Breeders' Cup Sprint winner. She's so spicy back. Safi's up there. Carlos David with a couple horses, too. So great to see.
Well, let me get a pen so I can write down these post times over the weekend.
Yeah, that's not the worst idea I've ever heard from you, Ron. And I've heard some bad ideas from you. 12:50 today, we know that. Tomorrow, 1:10 in the p.m. on a twilight Kentucky Oaks card. Well, not twilight, but the late races are going to be twilight.
Right.
The Oaks, I believe, at 8:40 in the p.m. Saturday, we are at 1 o'clock p.m. I thought that was 12:50, so that is news. I thought that was 12:30 on Saturday. 1 o'clock Saturday? All right, 1 o'clock Saturday. Take note of that.
Again. Oh, okay.
Changed again.
Okay.
So take note of that, Brian and Ron included. 1 o'clock on Saturday. Thank you, guys. Not 12:30 like it says in our DRF. So
are you going to party like it's 1999?
well, I'm not going to party as much as I was prior to that because I guess I'll be watching the Kentucky Derby right here.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got the big partying going on here, so you'll be
Big Derby watch party, though. That is for sure. Live racing, clearly. We have 2 turf stakes. That's a lot of fun. Mint Juleps, the photo booth, the cash bar. Kentucky Derby Day, Ron, is a fun day at any racetrack, even if it's not Churchill Downs. And like I said, we've got a very strong 10-race card here.
Brian, we've had the privilege of working during the championship meet and seeing some of the top performers in both the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks.
So here it is here. There's been a couple scratches out of this initial. 2 AEs are going to draw in. 13 Silent Tactic and the 20 Full Effort are out. But you know these names. You know the 6 Commandment. You know the 9, the Puma. You know the 12, Chief Wallaby, because we saw them all winter long. And as Ronnie hinted at, they threw it down in the Curlin, Florida Derby. I still don't know how or why Commandment won. The Puma runs huge. Chief Wallaby is all the rage. He's the steam horse with blinkers being added for the Kentucky Derby. He can beat me, Ron. But I was actually blown away, both by the Puma, but certainly by Commandment, and I've been on him for a long time.
Yeah, the Puma, that was so close.
Brutal beat for him.
Brutal beat is right. He ran so well, and he's doing well. If you follow our buddy Mike Welch, all those horses doing very well, getting ready for their runs for the Roses on Saturday.
Yep, and on Friday they run for the Lilies, and Prom Queen for Brad Cox, the homebred for the West, who just laughed at the field in the Grade 2 Gulfstream Park Oaks. She will be a huge, huge hitter, stretching to a proper 9 furlongs on Friday. Nighttime Kentucky Oaks to wrap up that card. She has a monster chance in this race. One of the more wide open Kentucky Oaks you'll ever see. I believe Zany, who broke her maiden in her debut, I think in November for Todd Pletcher, is the 4-1, very tepid morning line favorite, Ron.
What I like about Zany, she's won at the distance. She's the only one, I believe, in the field. Or if I remember correctly, that's won at 9 furlongs. I'm not totally sure about that, but I picked in second. I did pick our horse on top, Prom Queen, with Zany second.
Yeah, if Zany hits the board, I'll fall over. That's my hot take in this race. I like Always a Runner, and I like Prom Queen. Ronnie and I will do some videos and stuff. Yeah. We'll have a lot of fun with this as well.
Yeah, and the Kentucky Derby, just all the good stuff. But we got carryovers galore.
Yeah, we're going to start this whole weekend, this week off, last 4-day race week for us for a little bit, with a bang, because the Sunset 6 at 3:23 in the p.m., the last 3 here and the last 3 at Santa Anita, has a carryover of 7,300 and change, 15% takeout, the $1 minimum retail. But the big one, Ronnie, is the Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
And that is going to be
68,000.
68,000. That could generate a pool of 500,000. 2 here, 3 at Santa Anita. That is 2 hours and 17 minutes. That pool will be huge, Ron. Special Thursday, you can see it there.
Yeah, Special Thursday. And what do you have as your best bet today, Brian?
All the way in the finale, and maybe you could single Come On Poppy in that Coast to Coast and Sunset 6 in the last race on the turf here.
Well, I'll kick it off in the first race with Jimmy Toner, my man, Operation Torch, currently up there at 4-5 right now. Long shot for you?
Long shot for me. We'll see with Sammy Camacho taking a late mount on the one Cam's girl. She darn well better be a price, though. She's got a lot to do in that spot.
I did go with that one horse, and I thought Mythical Man would be higher odds than this because you made some great points pointing out that this horse has to do some running today to get that done. But we'll see how it plays out with that inside horse. So that is us at the Pick 5 pool approaching over $20,000 right now. And to the newly married Pete Aiello.
Welcome back and congrats.
Yes, congrats very much, Pete Aiello. And he couldn't have found a better person for his to marry. I like her very much, so we'll see how Pete sounds now that he's a married man.
And thanks to Liam for filling in, but great to have Pete back for sure.